So initially, this room was 2 rooms with a wall coming right down this line in the middle. The room that was over here had a circuit that came out in this wall and fed everything over here and an outlet over there. And the room that was on this side, which was just storage, had its own feed that was coming out in the far wall. What we ended up doing was using this that came out of the wall, putting it into a box, and sending that over to feed this smoke detector, a outlet that is tucked up into the closet and really hard to see, 2 switches, an outlet, and it did feed another outlet over here. Now, from those 2 switches, we used a 3-wire. So we ran the red wire off one and the black wire off the other to run 2 separate circuits of lights. And basically, we're feeding into there, and then this junction box feeds this light and those other 2 lights. And then we run through from that junction box with the 3-wire to this junction box, and that junction box is feeding 4 lights in the center. One is right on your left there, and then the other one will be in the hole that's created by the temporary access we cut. Then we ran another wire off of that junction box and came over to this junction box to run those 3 lights. Now, that other hole is where there had been a junction box that we removed. But everything else has its own separate little junction box for each light and should be relatively straightforward. One of the things that we had done was added a outlet in this closet, and this just popped through the ceiling and then comes out over here and joins up into this box here. This box is one of our main connection hubs. It is sending power over to these switches and this outlet via this wire. Alright, so this is just to show that everything here is capped off just as it should be. And all of these, even though they're not at perfect angles, are solidly in place. And that should be all that stuff tightened up. As far as this smoke detector goes, I do just want to show that this does have a box behind it. It's tightened down there, so it's, but you can see the blue coming through. This is up in the attic, and this whole panel on the right side is held down by about 8 screws. It's going to be our access for the electric on the other side of this. So what we're looking at over here is changes to the electrical system based on pulling from the outlet in the bottom right corner of the room. That was an existing outlet. We came off of that and we're shooting through the wall, coming out inside this storage area, following it along, coming up into this outlet, feeding these 2 receptacles, then coming back over to this set of switches. This set of switches ties in to these 2 receptacles via this wire. And these 2 switches feed 2 other outlets through this 3-strand wire here, one of which is down here. The top half of this is switched and the bottom half is not. And again, we're just following that wire on down right into the box. The other wire comes here, goes into the wall, and comes out and feeds this outlet up here, which again, half of it is switched and the other half is not. Alright, now that the window's in, we were able to tie in from this existing outlet, and that first one is high because that's where it was already coming through the wall, and add in this outlet under the window and this outlet over here, just an over box, and that gives us our outlet every 6 feet along this wall. Just wanted to show off a few critical things on this window that I thought you might be looking for here. Way that we ran this, we had double king, double cripple, 2x10 header, and then we used window flashing tape for the sill pan, and we flashed the whole window in with the same stuff. The tar paper was existing. When we get around to doing the siding, we'll switch that out for Tyvek, but that's not that big of a deal. Now the other thing, we didn't have a fire stop here, so we added one in just to make sure, and the kings go right up through that, and they hit the ridge of the house, just because that's the way this house was built, and we're building off existing. But we did have electrical coming through in one spot over here, so when we filled that in, we put some metal plates just to make sure everything was safed off and ran it through there. Just wanted to add in that little fire break too. But I think that should basically do it. There's nothing too complicated about framing out a window. Good.